watch these movies because these movies are underrated as hell. Here are 10 underrated romance anime movies you must watch. Let's go. Number 10, Boku ga ashita subete no kimei.
恋人だから。
僕が恋人？
私は85離れた世界。
Have you ever heard of parallel worlds? Turns out there's exactly someone like you in another world. Now use that concept as a premise and add romance to it, and you get this anime movie. Here, we meet a guy called Koyumi Takasaki who is attending a local university prep school. He's one of these fellows with heavy social anxiety, so he has trouble making friends. But one day, he's approached by a girl called Kazune, and she says, "Hey, random anime main character, we used to date each other in a parallel world, so why don't we start dating in this world?"
例えば世界に100の君がいて100の僕がいたとしてそれぞれの世界
This romance anime knows how to blend in an interesting sci-fi concept along with its romance. So even if the romance follows the usual tropes of sci-fi elements, will keep you hooked. This is still only available in theaters, so you'll have to wait a little if you want to buy the DVD. Number 9, The Relative Worlds.
あんなのと一緒になりたくない。
よくわかんないけど、すごい研究してたんでしょ？
でも何もなせないで死んだ。
Okay, this might be a coincidence because we have another anime movie that involves parallel worlds. But the good news is that this anime is already released, which means there's no waiting period. Here, we follow the story of Shin Hazama, a person whose parents suddenly die. He tries to find out the reason behind their deaths, only to find out there is a Shin in a parallel world who is linked to his body.
進学のこと、やっぱりお父さんに相談しようか。
いいって。じゃあな。
The romance part mostly comes in because of Shin's childhood friend, Kotori, joining his adventures. But it turns out the parallel universe Kotori is an evil princess. Now parallel Shin wants to defeat parallel Kotori, but since she's too powerful, he wants to kill this world's Kotori, but this world's Shin doesn't want that. I know, it's pretty confusing, but the movie does a better job explaining the plot than I did. Also, the CG effects of this one were great. Number 8, Gold Kingdom and Water Kingdom.
何事も平和が一番です。
仕事のない技師の足に嫁を世話してくださる。
Now remember kids, this is an upcoming movie. So don't go searching for this movie then complain you didn't find it. This is releasing in January 2023. It seems to have some great animation and there doesn't seem to be many people who know about it. So I added it to this list.
大丈夫ですか？お嬢さんが生きている間に。
Here we have the recycled Romeo and Juliet premise, but this time with kingdoms. But I don't know if there's much focus given to world building because the premise pretty much says the name of the first kingdom is Kingdom A and the second one is Kingdom B. As usual, the two kingdoms are at war, but they fall in love. You've heard this a million times before, but the animation and characters are why you should watch this anime. Number 7, worlds bubble up like soda pop.
最近つけてないね。
必要ないし。
Everything about this anime is simple, in a good way. You've got a simple art style, simple music, simple animation, simple characters, but this whole movie is about finding self-confidence. And the movie isn't very simple when it comes to delivering that theme. It's about one girl judging her appearance and confidence by her looks and slowly realizing you don't need to always be a hot anime girl to get the self-confidence you need.
可愛くない？
かわいい？
だるま祭り。
If I need to give a one-world compliment to this movie, then it's unique. This movie is unique in a lot of ways. From the character tropes, the minor details about music, to the entire art style of the movie. This is also one of those friends becomes lovers in anime, so the first part of the movie is about being friends, and the second part is about love. Number 6, Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl.
この子可愛いね。うん、いい子でしょ？ご飯、いで、噛まないで。わ、わ、わ。
This anime movie is only 18 minutes, but that 18 minutes gives you a far better story than the majority of the 1 hour long movies. It will also be the most wholesome 18 minutes of your life. This follows two children named Hinata and Shigure. Hinata is not very good at talking to people, but he has secretly fallen in love with Shigure. Things get even worse when Shigure starts to move to another town, so Hinata has even less time to confess his feelings for her. Even though this movie is only 18 minutes, the characters receive a proper introduction and even have time to develop. The art style and animation also feels pretty unique, and it felt like the director and the rest of the crew wanted to make this as wholesome as possible. They sure didn't fail at that. Number 5, Love Me, Love Me Not.
弟双子さん
あれゆなちゃんってこの前うんこ踏みそうだった
Now this is a very shoujo-like romance anime where there are a lot of shoujo elements repeating. But what's great about it? These tropes are executed really well. It is all about this innocent girl called Yuna who falls in love with her neighbor's brother, and the neighbor falls in love with Yuna's childhood friend. As you can see, we already have a love polygon not even Sherlock Holmes can solve.
もしかしてこれ下駄箱に入れたのってそっかならよかった断るつもりだったから
Apart from expecting the already executed tropes very well, this movie doesn't do anything special. There are times when I wish the movie had more interactions among the lead characters, but apart from that, go to watch this movie expecting a fun and enjoyable 1 hour and 42 minutes. Number 4, Saikano the Movie Finale.
わかんないよ
いやだからさそこをなんとか
やってみないとわかんないよ
I've spoken about this movie a couple times, but this is still pretty underrated, so I won't be doing justice to this show if I didn't mention it on a list about underrated anime movies. First off, before watching this movie, you need to watch the Saikano series. What is this series about? It's about one guy and 4 girls trying to develop a visual novel based on this random girl or guy met in the street.
そうだよないきなりこういうの違うよな空気読めてない
Now, what's good about the movie? 1, the characters are more fleshed out, which means this isn't your regular harem show anymore. This is an actual romance movie that develops the love between the main couple. 2, it has its emotional moments that'll make you cry along with the rest of the characters. And 3, this proved Megumi Kato is still the best girl in the show. For that alone, this anime movie deserves the Nobel Prize. Number 3, here comes Miss Modern. Push all those anime girls away because it's time for the tomboy to take the lead. Here Comes Miss Modern follows the story of Benyo Haikara-san, who lost her mother when she was young and was raised by her father. So she grew up to be a tomboy. She likes wearing Western clothes, drinks sake, studies kendo, and rejects the idea of marriage.
古い因習に縛られるのは真っ平自由恋愛こそ大正乙女の生きる道
ベニオさんはやはり自分が思った通りの方でした
The romance subplot is all about this blonde guy trying to make the tomboy fall in love with him. How does he plan to do that? Well, it turns out this guy has a few trucs under his sleeve. If you love this movie, remember to watch the other 2 movies as well. They're equally good as this one. Number 2, Josie, the Tiger and the Fish.
意外と良かったな
やろうやろう
Say bye-bye to high school romance because here we have love inside the university. On one side, we have a hardworking guy called Sueno Suzukawa, and his goal is to collect enough money to fulfill his dreams. On the other side, we have a girl called Kumiko, a crippled girl who is annoying and likes to insult everyone. After a chance encounter, Tsuneo is appointed as Kumiko's caretaker, and Kumiko is a tsundere, so we all know hanging yourself is a better option than getting to take care of a tsundere.
どこ行くつもりだよ
お前には関係ないお離してこら
Or is it? You know how the tsunderes are? They start off pretty stubborn, but soon warm up to each other. Even though this starts off as a love and hate relationship, the two soon find out they have a lot in common, and then love starts to blossom. This is one of those romance shows that breaks the tropes by showing how one thing goes wrong after the other, and the tragedies of our two main characters have to face. Number 1, Hotarube no Morie.
本当だ人間のお祭りとほとんど同じみんな人に化けてるの
そう見事だろ時々は人もそれとは知らずに迷い込んでくるらしい
I need to finish this list off with a sad romance movie because I want you guys to cry like newborn infants. This story is about a 6-year-old Hotaru Takegawa who finds herself lost in the ancient forest while she was visiting her uncle. In a desperate situation, he finds help in the form of a masked forest spirit named Gin. She learns that there was only one rule when it comes to spirits and humans, and that one rule is that human touch would cause the spirit to disappear due to the fragile state of magic in the human world. Hotaru, abiding by the rules, visits Gin every year but doesn't touch him.
離れていると人混みをかき分けてでもホタルに会いに行きたくなるよ
I first heard about this movie from the You Can Be King Again music video, which was pretty popular back then. Sadly, I got spoiled about the movie's ending, but even after I watched it for a second time, knowing how it's going to end, I still felt the pain rip through my heart. It's one of those moments where you pause the anime and say Captain Miller's famous words, "Yeah, this anime is going to make you cry like a little baby."